We're outside of Pearland Detention Center, and we are demanding that the migrants that are detained inside and are set for deportation be released today. We're outside of Pearland Detention Center. About 100 to 200 Black Cameroonians set to be deported today, and we are out here demanding that they be released. We are outside of Pearland Detention Center. We are demanding that the Cameroonians be released today. They are facing deportation, and we are waiting for them to listen to us. Black Lives Matter, and we are out here to let them know that we will not stand for what the abuse that they have been enduring and that they are setting on them. As you can see, many of us are out here. A group of Cameroonian men and women have been tortured and abused. They've been coerced into signing their own deportation orders, and ICE has gone as far as breaking their fingers. We are out here in Pearland Detention Center, and we will be sharing some scripts. You can call ICE, you can call Pearland Detention Center. We are calling for their release. So for those of you just joining us now, we are outside of Pearland Detention Center right now. There are about 100 to 200 Cameroonian men and women detained at the detention center that are set for deportation tonight. And we received word that they would be deported by midnight. And if deported, they are unable to share their witnesses to civil rights violations. They were broken, their fingers were broken. They were coerced into signing their own deportation orders. And we are out here to let ICE know that we know what they're doing in there. We know how they're torturing people, and we are watching. They don't want us to bring attention to the fact that they are violating human rights. They are violating human rights, and we are out here to let them know that we will not stand for the torture that they are making people endure. Cindy, would you like to say anything about us being out here?
So it looks like ICE was waiting for us as soon as we arrived. So we stood out there shouting to make them aware that we know that the type of abuse that they're and the violence that they're using against the 100 to 200 Black migrants who are currently inside of the detention center in Pearland in Alvarado, Texas. And we are also letting them know that we know that this is something that they have always used, these tactics of intimidation and violence. And so we are having a caravan action because we are building awareness to this torture that has been going on since the beginning that ICE started. And so the people who are here in the detention center are set to be deported tonight. And it's important that we have a call to action and that we organize in solidarity with all the people who are currently inside of the detention center, organizing themselves and fighting for their lives. So if you can see ahead, everyone is lining up to make a turn because we had a police officer who told us to move and is trying to intimidate us. And we are going to be turning around and driving to show that we're not going to fall for their intimidation tactics, and that we're going to still bring awareness to this issue that is happening in our backyards.
Thank you, Cindy. As Cindy mentioned, the people inside have been organizing themselves and have been engaging in hunger strikes. So we are out here showing them that they are not alone, and that we are watching, and that ICE, we are watching. We know what ICE is doing. We know that they've been using these intimidation tactics and abuse, and that they are torturing and using and engaging in civil rights violations, and that people are watching, and that they can't get away with it without anybody knowing about it. So we are turning, as Cindy mentioned, we are turning around. We are going to come back to the detention center. There's about, I would say about 20 of us, 20 cars out here, 20 to 30, something like that. And we are turning around to continue bringing attention. As Cindy mentioned, ICE was waiting for us outside. They there was a group of men, or there were a group of men watching us, and called the police immediately on us and had them come out and ask us to leave. So we know that they are also trying to intimidate us into leaving this alone, but we can't leave this alone. We know that this is very much connected to all of the systemic issues that we have seen, and we are here to stand in solidarity with the people inside who have been organizing themselves and who are literally fighting for their lives. We know that Cameroon, being deported to Cameroon right now, is a death sentence, and we do not. We want to let them know that we will not leave them alone. So we will keep you all updated, but we are turning around. We're going back to the detention center. Should I? Okay, so we are turning around and going back to the detention center. So we will keep you all updated. We will also have some calls to action that we will be posting. We are asking people to help us pressure ICE. We know that stopping the deportations is possible, and we will be making that a call to action and asking ICE to stop the deportations and not moving forward with what is basically a death sentence. Sending migrants to Cameroon is a death sentence right now. We know that the government over there is ready to go as far as to kill them because of their of them coming to the US. So we are bringing attention to this today, and we know that this has been going on. So thank you all, everyone who is watching. If you can, please share this with everyone. We know that this isn't gonna go away if we pressure ICE into releasing the people who are detained, and also just letting them know that we are watching and we will not let them get away with the torture that they are committing. They believe that if they deport these 100 to 200 migrant Cameroonians, then they will get away with it. But we are out here letting them know that we know what they're doing inside of there, and we know that they are violating human rights, and we are watching. So we will go back to the detention center right now, and we are sending a message just to the people inside that we are in solidarity with them. We know that they have endured a lot, and so we're out here in this caravan action. We're just letting them know that we're here for them, that we stand in solidarity, and we support their organizing efforts as well. So it will come a little closer in a moment. You'll see that the detention center is in a pretty isolated area. We are about to reach the detention center again, and we know that there was a police officer who asked us to leave. ICE immediately called the police on us, so this is again another example of how they work together to intimidate our communities, and why it is important to continue pushing for this to end, because they work together to intimidate us and to deport, kill our people. And we are out here to let them know that that is not okay, and that we are watching what they are doing. You see over there is the detention. It is Pearland Detention Center, but the abuse that goes on inside there is happening all over the country. The ICE officers are outside waiting for us, and we know that they did call the police already on us. But we are asking for the release of about 100 to 200 Cameroonian men and women. A couple of the women were actually part of the forced sterilizations that happened in Georgia. A lot of all over the country to different detention centers, making it really difficult for us to for them to organize. And we know that this is used as a tactic to intimidate them and to stop the organizing going on.
Are you at the front?
We see here a police officer.
Yeah, we're going in circles.
They called a police officer and are trying to intimidate us to leave. But we know that what is even more alarming is that they're continuing to make these transfers in the middle of a pandemic, and obviously they don't care who has COVID and who is being transferred to where, regardless of whether or not they have COVID. So in this public health crisis, they are continuing to spread and to really not care for the migrants who are detained, people who are inside and are, you see right there's a detention center, and they're the men waiting, who are waiting for us. So thank y'all for watching. We're going back.